Wow.
We're back.
We're back. Welcome back to the 2025 user group, Vectric user group meeting. Wow, I hope that you enjoyed those last two presentations. They were really, really well done. And if you're just joining us now, well, thanks for coming by. And if you've been here all day, well, good for you guys. You've been really hanging on, so that's really good. Thanks.
Good morning to our American friends.
Exactly, that's right. That's right. You guys are it's just getting, it's just sun up over there, isn't it?
Someone said 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock, wow.
Yeah, 8 o'clock.
Wow, that's a while ago for us. Right on. Well, Becky, you did your project, didn't you?
I did.
And that was, what an epic job for the slot together queen here, who's just taught me so much about slot together projects. Let's have a little chat about that. So, what is your? Oh, there we go. Look at this now. What's your favorite bit of this project?
Oh, everything. So. You know me, I love a slot together project and a plywood project.
That's right.
I actually learned quite a lot about this project. We've always wanted to make parametric wall art. Kind of like when you see in the hotels, like the really nice shapes or like chairs. And I just thought, do you know what? We should make one of those. And it was quite a challenge because obviously, you just seen in that video that there was so many points where we had to say, okay, we'll do this a million times, and then like we'd skip ahead. So there was a lot of work involved, but then there was a lot of features that kind of helped make sure that that went seamless. So organisation is very key to this project. So organising all of your vectors into layers, then onto sheets, then associating layers to your toolpath.
Yeah, when I was watching it, it looked literally like you had a laid out dinosaur, like the one on for miles.
The spine.
But you never really, without your organization, that would have been just a nightmare for a lot of people, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Organisation is very important in this job. But I loved how it all came together. Obviously, we did a test piece, and as you're probably bored of me saying, like, you should always do test pieces.
There she goes again.
And so when we started this, I initially tried it on just some lips. So I modelled some lips the same way that I did the blob shape that we did on the wall. I keep looking over there because it's actually on the wall over there. And with the test, obviously you can see that each profile is actually quite further apart. Which kind of made me think, actually, I want to bring those closer together. So for the actual test, the actual part that we made on the wall, everything came together, and there was like 80
Yeah, there was a lot of them, wasn't there? Yeah, I walked in at one point and you had them all on the floor, and it was like, how is that all going to come together? Well, thankfully you had a system for that.
Yes, yeah, and I got some top tips from various people. So one of them where I mentioned about V-carving all the numbers onto the tabs, that was Sean's idea, which is really handy because you don't see them then. But in fairness, at the scale that it was, like you wouldn't really see it anyway, but you just want to make sure that you don't put those V-carved numbers like on the outside, otherwise it just look a bit messy. But it was really helpful because obviously there was 80 parts. And this room was a mess.
It was a mess. It was.
It was such a mess, but we had like help from everyone. Todd helped me with the reverse T-slots, which I know a lot of you were saying about that in the comments, which is super helpful for us to hang it up. And there are various ways that we could have done this. But I wanted to do it this way, where we had a backboard and we slot everything into the backboard to ensure that it's just flat and flush to the wall. And so that's why it required us to have a hanging mechanism that would work, that we could build it on the floor and then sort of hook it over onto the wall. And that thing is so heavy.
Oh my gosh, yeah. We had 4 people, didn't we, doing it?
Yeah.
It was me, Neve, Rich, and Ollie. Yeah.
And I mean, I still have nightmares that I'm going to come in one day and it's just going to be on the floor.
I think it's holding up really good, yeah.
Because it is essentially 3 sheets of plywood on the wall. So it was heavy. You would have seen in that video, little lifting it up, but it looks super impressive.
Oh, it does look really good, yeah.
It's one of my favourite projects so far.
Wow, it looks really good. And some of the stuff that you covered in your video was really great, like creating a 3D model, but So people sometimes go on about not wanting to 3D model things, but you use the 3D model in a totally different way. You never even cut the 3D model. You just made your 2D vectors. So that's a great use of doing that, something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously I use Aspire to model that. You could do this in VCarve if you imported a model in. So I don't know if you went to some site where you could get some kind of weird blob, or you can do anything. Like, obviously these were lips, so any model you can just do the same thing. And actually that's a lie, you cannot do that because we needed to create the profile.
Oh, that's right, exactly, that's true enough.
The vector profile tool, which is only available in Aspire, so I do apologise about that.
That's right. That's all right. That's all right. I played around with it too. Once I saw your method, I thought when you showed off just the cross sections and as they kind of laid out, it looked like the Joy Division kind of album cover. Exactly. So I messed around with taking a pop bottle and did the same thing with it, or soda bottle, or whatever you want to call it. And I did the same sort of idea. When you laid out those vectors and trimmed the ones that overlapped, it was a nice piece of art that you could have 2D sort of cut.
Yeah,
it was really nice.
Definitely.
It was really good.
And going back to the getting the profile, like the cross sections from the 3D model, one of the really nice things now in like version 12.5 in the 3D view, having the ability to just switch off like your model, but still be able to draw out those cross sections.
Yeah,
really
exactly. That was
nice.
neat. Yeah, that's right. That's hiding it in the 3D view and then still keeping it visible in your component tree, which is really cool. Yeah, well, that was amazing. I have to say that was, and as you said, it's now a permanent fixture, I think, on the wall of the labs.
It is.
As long as it stays there, which I'm sure it will. What's your biggest takeaway from this whole job?
Testing.
Testing, yeah.
We did a lot of testing, obviously you would have seen there. Because of the sheer scale of it, we just didn't want to get this wrong. Another tip, actually, this is one of your tips.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Now, we didn't touch on this in the video because it's part of the montage, but when we're slotting all the parts in, obviously when I was testing the allowances, we wanted to make sure that it was tight so that it wouldn't come off the wall. And so some pieces were a little bit tricky to get in, but Todd had a brilliant idea of just chamfering just the edge of the tabs, just using a sanding machine, and that's just enough just to initially get it in, and then you can just hammer it in and it'd be perfectly getting fine then, won't it?
Yeah, we had a little assembly line set up and that worked out really well, yeah.
It did,
Well, thank you for mentioning it, right on. Great.
No, I loved it. Love that.
Good, yeah, it worked out really well, and like I said, I think we're all pretty proud of it when we walk in and we see it on the wall.
That's it. I do want to do another one. Two more, actually.
2 more, really?
Yeah, I want to do one that's a shelf, so some shelf design.
Nice,
so
yeah.
you can do it's very similar shape, except if you just flatten off the top and then have it sort of floating down underneath, you create some nice funky shelves. And another one that I'd like to try is with different materials. So I'd like to try it in acrylic.
Wow.
Where you know the acrylic where looking at it at the side, it's like a different colour.
Right, yeah.
Like that, because that'll just look really nice.
Yeah, it would look really great, wouldn't it? Yeah. Oh, I can't wait to see what people do with that. And if you do something with what Rebecca's just showed you, definitely post it so we can see it, because it's we'd love to see how it inspired you guys.
Yeah.
Great.
Definitely, yeah.
Next up,
so after me, we had Naf's session.
That's right.
On his dice tray. So
come on
Naf,
in.
come on in.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to our friends joining us around the world. How are you doing?
Oh, right, Nav. Well done.
Thank you.
That's really
That's
good.
a really nice project.
Thank you. So was yours.
Yeah, thank you. And I think that this is going to be on lots of people's to make list.
I hope so.
Yeah, definitely.
No pressure.
So obviously this is Nav, one of our amazing support engineers. So we thought we'd do similar to what we did with David, a little Q&A with you. So find out a little bit more about you, about your project, some of the things that you want to do in the future. But if you could just tell everyone a little bit about you, how long you've been here, what's your day-to-day like at Vectric?
All right. As Becky said, my name is Nav. I work for the wonderful Vectric support team. You met my colleague David yesterday. There's 4 more of us in that team as well. And for my day-to-day, what I do is help people with problems such as all the way from logging into their account, all the way to how come my design isn't cutting properly on the machine. So if you ever get stuck with anything and you need some support with the software, get in touch at support@vectric.com.
Great.
And I've been there for 5 years now. It's flown
5
by.
years, wow, exactly.
Yeah.
Holy cow, good stuff. So what inspired you to create this amazing dice tower?
Well, I'm a big fan of tabletop role-playing games. That's TTRPG as the acronym, if anyone doesn't know that. And what I wanted to do was take a load of my dice to my sessions, because when you're playing these games, typically you have a set of polyhedral dice. That's normally 7 dice, but you need sometimes multiple sets. And so I thought, well, what's a good way I can take them to my sessions, as well as have a mechanism that I can roll them in a fun way. And let's be honest, when you hear it and you do the rolling, it is super satisfying.
Oh, 100%, yeah, it is, very much so.
So have you built any other gaming accessories before?
I have. I put a link in the chat earlier as well, but on our website you can find that I made a dice storage tray, so you can find that on your V&Co account. That's a free project for anyone who's got the software, and it's on YouTube as well. So that was a storage tray with a design and make dragon model on top. So you get to learn a little bit about some 3D clip art in there as well.
Nice. Now, obviously you're a tabletop gaming enthusiast. I tried the acronym, but good luck. And you do this a lot. Yeah. And you're 100% right. The rolling dice through a wooden tray, the sound of that is just right on. I love it a lot. And I could see that there's quite a market for this sort of thing. So if you were going to make something else to kind of address this market, the tabletop gaming thing, what would you make? What would be your next sort of?
I think the next logical thing would be something to do with miniatures. So a lot of these games use miniatures, and a lot of people paint them, both use in-game, but also as a pastime. Some people just like painting. So I think maybe something to do with storage of paint, brushes, and some of the other peripherals that you might need for painting. So something maybe like a rack for your paints, and then to the side of it on a hinge perhaps, storage for your brushes, and then on the other side maybe some of the other peripherals that you may need, and maybe you could close it up and take on a handle. So just a bit of an idea I had about that, or potentially a different version of this. So you could do different form factors. If you see my hands here, I've got some dice that are clearly different in size. Typically your die will be around 25 mil, but then you've got some at 30 mil. This one's a bit of a chunk. This is 40 mil, yeah.
Wow, jeez.
And believe it or not, little baby
it's
one.
A itty bitty one.
Little baby one, yeah.
Wow.
So if you don't have a cool backpack like mine, if you have a smaller form factor bag, or even if you have a backpack or a purse or something, if you want to make a smaller form factor one, you could accommodate that. So that maybe I think about making that, or even a different methodology for rolling it. So that one at the moment rolls down ramps, but what if you made a spiral one?
Oh, that'd be nice.
Right?
Very much
Watch
so.
out.
Yeah.
You've told the world now.
Yeah, it's got to happen.
No pressure.
It's got to happen. So laser sketch engraving is a brand new feature. Now, when did it show up, and how can you get your hands on it?
It's in 12.5, and it's for the laser module. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the laser module, we have an entire page dedicated to it on our website. So if you go to the V&Co portal and go to the products page, you can find the laser module page. And I highly recommend you go there, because it will list all the currently tested and supported configurations we have for the laser module. If you don't find yours listed, don't worry. You can always write an email to support, so support@vectric.com, or you can use a free trial. Now, the free trial allows you to try before you buy. So you can download the free trial, activate via the help menu the license for the trial laser, and we've got some free laser projects on the site that you can use as a test, so you can really find out if yours is compatible as well. And it'd be awesome if you do, because you can make stuff like that.
Just like this, exactly. Yeah, that's right, for sure. Now, I was around for some of this, for some of your making of this dice. No, sorry, no. I enjoy it. And I'll spill the beans. One of the magnets isn't in the right way around. So how next time? Do you have any tips for somebody who's doing this to ensure actually that all the magnets are in the right way, so that everything kind of hooks up right?
Yeah, no, this is an excellent point, Todd. And spoilers, it's maybe on the front of this one. What I would suggest is, and I said this in the video, because they're neodymium magnets, what you want to do is take 2 of the magnets that you're going to put in. So for example, let's say you're going to put in this one to this one. Put them together, so you know they're sticking together, and then mark the back with a marker pen, so you know the back, the marked sections are going in. Then take the any of the opposite ones and check those as well. What you can also do before you glue them is, while that is still cutting on the, well, sorry, not while it's cutting, while it has cut on the machine, and your machine's safely off, go and just push fit the magnet in, not all the way, but just check it fits roughly, because then what you can do is also check that your magnet is going to fit, and if it doesn't, that's where you can rerun that pocket toolpath with a slightly bigger allowance. Remember to put a minus to go out and a plus to go in for your allowance value. And that's where you can then take advantage of it still being on the machine, because if you take it off, you're going to have to reset your XY0, get the position perfect. So while it's still on the machine, have a bit of a check, and it'll save you a whole lot of stress and hassle.
Good
Top
idea.
tip.
Yeah,
Yeah.
big time. Yeah, for sure.
So, you did laser sketch engraving.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. So, how would one go about getting hold of that toolpath?
So it is in the laser module. So I mentioned this just a couple minutes ago. So if you want to get a hold of that, it's a laser module in 12.5.
Exactly.
So
That's right, yeah.
if you're an older version and you're tempted, now's the time.
What's nice about that too is that you had laser sketch engraved that 3D model, and if you don't have the laser module, then you probably could sketch carve it if you wanted to.
Yeah, use a V-bit.
Exactly.
Get a really cool effect.
That's right. Yeah, for sure.
And the cool thing is you get this kind of almost rustic looking effect. So if you look at the, just turn the lid around here, that looks so dark and pronounced because I first sketch carved it with a V-bit, then put the laser through the gaps. So it really brings it out, gives it a really nice high fantasy rustic effect. So have a play around with it. You'll be surprised at what some of the results you'll get.
So I noticed, Nav, in your software, you actually had like undo, redo, save visible in your design tab.
Yes.
Todd and I don't.
No.
And quite a lot of other people probably won't either. So where are you getting that from?
It's actually a cheat code. No, I'm kidding. It's not. It's not a cheat code at all. All you have to do is go into the software, click on Edit, scroll down to Options, and when the Options screen pops up, scroll down to General Settings, and in General Settings, you'll have the option for Show File Operations, and you can change that to Yes, and then you'll get the Undo button, the Save button, and the Redo button. So if you're a fan of using those and clicking those, you can get those.
Nice.
Nav, going back to your magnets. So Rob Sandstrom, hello
Hey, Rob.
How you doing, Rob?
he said, I use the blue tape method for ensuring you have the right polarity. The marking pen can rub off, and he did a YouTube video all about that.
There we go. Yeah.
It's a great tip, Rob.
Good
That's
idea.
actually a really good tip. Yeah, you're right, because do you want to risk the marker pen getting on your wood? That's an excellent point. Yeah. So that's
True
a great tip. Thank you, Rob. I appreciate that.
Now you, it's really because I was around when you did this. Our intention was that what you cut was going to be just the test parts.
Yeah.
But with all of your great planning, it turned out to actually be the real thing.
It did.
Which is not amazing. I think it's a nice shout out to obviously your skill in the software, but how with good planning you can actually have your finished part right off the bat, which is nice. Very good.
And just to kind of add on that, don't be afraid to do test cuts.
Oh yeah. No.
Because you don't want to take some beautiful wood and then ruin it. So
Yeah, exactly. That's right. Yeah.
do not be afraid to do test cuts. So if you're ever nervous about anything, just maybe do like a smaller version of the stuff that's important, like the sketch carving. Just do like a tiny version of it. I certainly did with the laser just to see what it looked like on this wood, and it worked out great. So highly recommend that.
Yeah, it's a funny one, isn't it? Because you feel like, I don't want to do a test, I just want to get it done. But the amount of time you're going to save just by just doing one small, tiny test, it's just going to be a little bit of effort extra, but it's just going to save you so much in the long run.
Yeah, there's a little Becky on my shoulder that says every time, Todd, do a test cut. And I'm like,
It's no different to using.
Sometimes I throw her off as well.
It's no different to using like a test paint for your home paint, right?
yeah, it's fair enough.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Just use a bit of a test and you'll go a long way.
That's it. Right then, Nav, so out of all of the projects that you've made on CNC here at Vectric, what's been your favourite?
This one.
Yeah.
By
Oh,
far.
good.
By
Good,
far,
good,
yeah.
good. Wow.
Because I got to combine so many cool methodologies together in one place. And it's a practical thing that I'm actually going to use. That's a real big deal to me. I love making decorative stuff, but I love anything that is practical. So the fact that I can use that, the fact that it makes such a satisfying noise when you roll through it, and the fact that I can take it to my D&D games and people are super hyped to see it, yeah, this is by far my favourite.
That's great. That's what we want to make stuff that you're going to use and that you're going to like. That's good.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Right on.
So what's your favourite tool in the software?
Layers.
Layers.
By a country mile. Because in the software, unless you're doing something really simple, you're going to use multiple vectors. It's almost a guarantee you're going to use multiple vectors. And Layers is such a great tool because you get to both organize your vectors, it makes it really clear for you to see everything and where it's placed, but also you can use it for toolpathing. So in some of the toolpaths, you have this option called a vector selector. And what that can do is you can say, let's say I've got a bunch of squares and a bunch of circles. I can say, for my profile toolpath, take all of the, the closed vectors on this layer, so my squares layer, and apply that profile toolpath to all of them. It saves me so many clicks and it's super quick. So Layers is like easily for me top 1% tool. It's so handy. It comes in handy all the time.
So that's right. Yeah, it is.
Yesterday I asked David the same question.
Yeah.
For those of you who are watching who are just getting started in Vectric, or you're thinking about getting Vectric in the CNC, what's one piece of advice that you would give to someone who's just getting started or getting into this?
I'll answer this in two parts. So the first one is I'll go for people who do have a CNC machine, and the second part I'll say for people who don't have a CNC machine. First one is use our tutorial videos, but cut a coaster. And the reason why I say cut a coaster is because it will teach you the basics, which is normally you'll have some sort of vector that you're going to cut out, whether a square, circle, whatever shape you want, but you'll also have some text or maybe an image or something like that. So a coaster is a good way to test that, but it also teaches you about tool changes, because if you think about it, if you're going to cut a coaster, you'll do an outline to cut out, but the text you might do with a V-bit. And that will teach you a lot about your machine, because when you go to the machine itself and cut it on the machine, you'll use your end mill to cut it out, but then you can use your V-bit as a tool change. So it will teach you some methodology about your machine as well. So it's good to get some practice in. And no one cares if you mess up a coaster, right? Like you're going to waste this much material versus this much material. So cut a coaster. And the second part of it is I'd say, when you enter into the CNC world as a brand new person without any software or a CNC machine, the community is amazing. The community is massive, but with that come a lot of opinions, and there'll be loads of good ones, which are, you know, how to efficiently machine your stuff, how to look after your tools, that kind of stuff. But what I would say is just make sure that you create stuff for you. So, because it's quite easy to obfuscate the creative process when there's so many things coming at you. And trust me when I say that when you make something, like you've seen with Becky's projects, Todd's projects, my projects, you can tell that we love them and the passion comes through them because we had full creative control. And you can always tell when someone's been told to make something because they think they should make it. So make sure you don't lose that creativity, because nothing will kill the hobby for you quicker than that. So just make sure that you're making stuff that you want to make. And if you ever get stuck, like I said, get in touch. We'll help you out.
Sounds great. Excellent. Well, thank you very much, Nav, for all that. We
Thank you for
really
having me. I really
appreciate that.
appreciate it. Thank you,
Love
guys.
the project, and it turned out really, really well.
Really
Enjoy the rest
nice.
of the UGM, guys.
Thanks a lot. Perfect. Right on. Wow, that's great. Love that project. That's really, really good. What a great thing.
Well, really good. So what's been going on in the
Yeah,
labs?
exactly.
What
So-
have we been making?
So while you were doing your thing and Nav was doing his, we were cutting something over here on the CNC machine. So we've got this piece right here, and maybe you can tell everybody a little bit about this one, Rebecca.
Yeah, so this is a model. So way back when, I don't know, was it about a month ago now?
At least, yeah, way back
Maybe
then.
about 3 weeks ago, when Todd and I was making our sign project. We obviously, hopefully you would have watched it yesterday, but if not, you can watch that back. We went down the sort of Western saloon cowboy theme. And we were thinking, we wanted to include 3D parts to the sign, and this is when we also started to test the new AI stuff. And so that's actually derived from the new AI system that we've got internally at the moment that we've been developing.
Yeah.
But it's also a little bit of an assembly with some design and make. Clipart, the guitar, it's come out really nice.
Yeah, it looks really good. Exactly. Yeah, we got that, and then all of this AI stuff that we've showed off so far these last 2 days have turned out really, really well. I think it's really nice, really nice. So excited to be able to show this off and the results of it. And again, as Rebecca mentioned, mixing and matching AI stuff with stuff that you already have in your Clipart library, it's great.
Yeah.
Great use of it.
It's exciting.
Exactly.
Exciting
That's right.
time.
Exciting. Right then. Okay, so we have a little break, and we're going to have another triple whammy, as you say, coming up. We have me, Randy Johnson is going to be sharing your box project. Oh, my project, though. Hey, hold it. I didn't even talk about that,
you
did I?
didn't speak about
I'm
your
going to
project.
turn a piece of found wood into a nice bowl and some serving utensils. And then we have Randy Johnson, who's going to be sharing a project on how to make a little toolbox or a box for a tool. And it's really interesting. He's usually going to use the box gadget, but only to get started. And then he's going to do some things that I think are really unconventional. But but they work out, and the end product is beautiful. So it's really a nice job. And then we have John Hennon, who's coming up, who's going to show us how to make his project, which is a beautiful table, inlays, brass, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
So can't wait to share that one with you guys.
Lots of inspiring stuff, lots to learn.
Exactly, that's right.
Then we're going to be back here live at 6:15 UK time, where, remember, 5 o'clock today, so 12 o'clock Eastern time. We're going to kind of put a hold on our show and tell competition. What I mean by that is we're going to choose our 3 favourites, which we'll then put out at 6 o'clock into a poll for you guys to choose your winner for that $100 worth of Clipart on the Design and Make store. Yeah,
that's it. So there we are. Right on.
Got lots to look forward to.
That's right.
And we hope that you're really enjoying the session so far today.
Exactly, yeah, and make sure you're taking part in all the chats and so on. And like Rebecca said, if you've been holding off on putting that special piece in the gallery, you got a few minutes right now. You can get right on it.
Get to that show and tell.
Exactly, right on.
Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye. See you later.